What I want to talk about today
is the Venn diagram of my life and how user experience design overlap with instructional design.
to create a golden opportunity in the Venn diagram, which is that little sliver, the sliver of gold. Nothing's breaking news here. You can go out and find this. I'm just telling you about my Venn diagram. My Venn diagram where I went through and I was like,
User experience, instructional design.
and I'm bringing the baggage with me. Bring it. So let me just give the brief, very, very brief spiel about why these topics for me do this. I want to change careers. I'm unhappy. I don't want to teach anymore. So I look for other careers. I look and I ask people in tech, what can I do? They say user experience design, I guess, not very confidently. Then I get pointed in that direction and I run with it. I start studying it, created my own version of a boot camp.
I don't know what I've been told. Boot camps, they want all my gold. I'm poor.
And then what happens? I get hired as an instructional designer. I love this one. This is my favorite thing because, all of these industries or disciplines, user experience, learner experience, instructional design, they are all part of, I think, in my opinion, these are part of the same family. They're twin sisters, fraternal sisters, like, let's relax. Do they look the same? No, one's a little more ragamuffin. Do they look the same? Do they act the same? No. But are they better together? I don't know. I think so. A design sprint often begins with a statement that is, how might we? I just love this. I love this statement because it is very inspiring. It's not problem focused. It's not necessarily solution focused, but it is innovation focused, right? It's like,
How could, wow.
like a fantasy land, right? And it gets you started thinking about new ideas, great ideas, possibly horrible ideas, probably horrible ideas. I love this framework for thinking about how to come up with some kind of solution. It gets you out of your creative bubble. The reason why I'm bringing up the how might we statements is because it is something that I learned in my UX training, my boot camp that I made for myself. And I just love it. And it inspires me as an instructional designer, and I'm sure it will inspire me going forth. As an instructional designer, you are already a user interface designer if you create any digital learning experience, because what you're doing is creating the human-computer interaction with the goal of teaching or learning. So are they swiping? Are they scanning? Are they matching? Are they mixing? Are they casting spells digitally? That's a good idea for a class. User experience research is dope. You have your own individual experience. You are shaped by everything that's happened to you and the way that, you move around the world and your privileges and your biases. What I love about user experience research is you try to use these tools to shed some of that extra that you carry, right? So you can get to understand who your user or your learner really is and how to design for them. I took a wonderful workshop at General Assembly with Michele Ronsen.
Damn, that shit was good.
Michele Ronsen is a badass teacher. She's a user experience researcher. She's got her own company. Seek her out if you have any interest in this topic. Empathy mapping is an exercise to try to understand a group of people, your audience, your user, your learner. You want to anticipate some of their motivations and their experiences
And their biases and their preferences and blah.
So how do you do that? You can use mediation tools to create an exercise that you can do with colleagues or friends. You imagine what a user or a learner sees, feels, thinks, and does. It's a really great way to push your own boundaries and against your own biases. And this is why it's great to do it with a group of people. That's empathy mapping. And that clear description of empathy mapping, I'm sure is very valuable for you. How about this? I will link the experts to this topic. Wow, these are great. These are wonderful things to study as an instructional designer. Because if user experience is this gorgeous woman, I argue that UI design and user experience research are the pigtails that make the girl cuter, right? Where's he going with this? In fact, UI design and UX research are so important, you know, like, does it look good with just one? No. Well, maybe it's the vibe. I don't know. Anyway, they're better. They're all better together. Okay. Now is the really fun part where I am going to list my favorite UX resources coming at you straight from a non-expert. Okay, so my favorite YouTube channel for UX stuff is AJ and Smart. So this is a UX design firm based in Germany, and they create wonderful videos about the UX process. They have a series especially for design sprints, but it's just really helpful to start to watch these videos and see how this discipline attacks problems and the framework that they use. And they're just, I don't know, they're like cool kids. A couple of courses that I took, 3 things I'll talk about. Design 101 at DesignLab. So this is an online UX bootcamp, but Design 101 is kind of like the precursor to their bigger UX bootcamp. Because like I said, my ass was broke. I could not take a bootcamp. And so I think the Design 101 was kind of like the taster, the sampler that exposes you to not only UX design, but visual design and UI design. I think it's somewhere around $405 to $500. And when I took it, there was a mentorship component with it, which was really great. I also took the UX design learning path in Coursera from UCSD. That was also a really great program. It's project-based. Each step of the process, you are doing it with the cohort. Then, wow, the one I already talked about, but I have had such a great experience with this was Michele Ronsen's user experience research class at General Assembly. It was a 1-day workshop all day. Oh man, it was really fun. She's got a ton of free resources on her website, including interview question prep. The woman is a rock star. So those are the 3 little pieces of my bootcamp that I created. I did some other things too, but those were kind of the core of, my building a UX knowledge. Hopefully, some of my Venn diagram golden nugget experience is helpful for you to, expand into the UX discipline in whatever way you feel is helpful for you. I can nerd out about this. I think it's just so cool how did we figure out what this is called? I think I'm done. I think it's over. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the next video, I guess, whenever that may be. Bye-bye.